This is pickleball.
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 Pickleball, anyone?
Pickleball's suddenly become the fastest growing sport in America.
Over the last few years, the huge growth of the sport of pickleball has been sweeping the nation. Courts are popping up across the country in big cities, suburbs, and rural areas alike. According to a report by the Association of Pickleball Professionals, there are over 36.5 million pickleball players in the U.S. in 2023. Pickleball has as many, if not more, participants than basketball, golf, and tennis individually, and a greater number than football, soccer, and baseball combined. Celebrities and sports stars are hopping on the pickleball bandwagon too, with those such as Tom Brady, LeBron James, and Drew Brees becoming investors or owners of professional pickleball teams.
The Seattle area has been at the heart of the sport of pickleball since the beginning. The question remains, what factors have contributed to the huge increase in popularity of the sport of pickleball in the Pacific Northwest?
Pickleball originated on Bainbridge Island when three fathers, Joel Pritchard, Bill Bell, and Barney McCallum, invented a new summertime activity to keep their kids entertained. They got creative using ping pong paddles, an old badminton court, and a perforated plastic ball. The first permanent pickleball court was constructed in the backyard of Joel Pritchard's friend and neighbor, Bob O'Brien. However, the sport would not see mainstream success for many years. Slowly, awareness increased as in 1976, there's an article in the Union Bulletin newspaper from Walla Walla, Washington about pickleball, and in coming years, many more articles followed. And during the spring of 1976, the first known pickleball tournament in the world was held in Tukwila. In 1982, pickleball pioneer Sid Williams began playing and organizing tournaments in Washington state. The United States Amateur Pickleball Association was organized to encourage the advancement of the sport on a national level. The first official rulebook was published in March 1984. But how did a game originating in a Bainbridge Island backyard turn into a national sensation? In 1990, pickleball was being played in all 50 states, with the number of players steadily increasing. In 2003, there were around 150 courts nationwide, and currently in 2023, the number is approaching 40,000 with the constant addition of new locations. The basic idea of pickleball is that the game is a mashup of tennis, ping pong, and badminton. It can be played indoors or outdoors by a single player or in pairs on a doubles badminton-sized court, 20 by 40 feet, with a lower 34-inch net. Players use a perforated plastic ball, wooden or composite paddles twice the size of ping pong paddles, and the goal is to hit the ball over the net, but within the boundaries of the court, and prevent your opponent from hitting it back. There are many draws of pickleball that have led to its extreme popularity throughout so many different communities and demographics. For example, accessibility. Compared to tennis, the smaller court means it's easier to keep the ball in play and points last longer, so it's great exercise for all players. At the same time, there's less strain on joints from less extreme running and changing direction. It also benefits players' balance and hand-eye coordination. In addition, according to the Medical University of South Carolina, the endorphins and other bioamines that are released are useful in elevating self-esteem and combating depression. It is so important that people of all ages find ways to stay active, as according to a 2020 United States National Health Interview Survey, the percentage of adults aged 18 and over who met the physical activity guidelines for both aerobic and muscle strengthening activity was 24.2%. This means 3 out of every 4 adults is not getting the recommended amount of exercise. This is a very low number and highlights the importance of finding activities that everyone nationwide can take part in. The accessibility of pickleball makes this a great option for anyone and everyone to join in, where people can play at any level, get a great workout, and have fun. Originally, these benefits drew an older demographic to the sport, and while this population remains, younger people are increasingly discovering the benefits of pickleball as well, with 18 to 34-year-olds making up the largest percent of players nationwide, according to Pickleheads. The variety and experience of players was so evident in visiting one of Seattle's most popular pickleball locations at Green Lake Park.
It's going to be my third time once I get on the courts there.
I've been playing since 2020.
I have been playing pickleball for about 6 years.
Okay, 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah, longer than you've been around, huh?
The positive impact of pickleball for all players is clear, but the key factor that extends these benefits is the fact that pickleball players keep coming back. This is largely thanks to the community aspect of the game. This feeling of community was crystal clear when talking with all players, new and experienced.
because of the way it's played, that you play sort of drop in one game, rotate out. It's super social and it's pretty inclusive. Any levels can play together.
I don't know. I got a good time. I'm part of the community, so it's good for me at least.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really fun because it's very social. So anyone at any level can play, and it doesn't matter if you're really good or if you've never played. It's, it's fun that way.
But you can look how cool these sports are every day and how many different people or friends that are going out after this together that would have never met each other otherwise. I think we don't have as much of that in our world anymore. So it's really cool that pickleball kind of brings that back.
It's just super friendly. Like when you're not on the court, you're chatting on the sidelines. And a lot of my closest friends now I've met through pickleball.
And the three guys I learned from were these guys. They were all state tennis champs.
Oh, wow.
And I'd never played a racket sport in my life, so they spent a year trying to teach me how to play this game. And so that's one of the things I still remember about the game is the fact that someone took that much time to teach me how to play. So it's important to me to go and give it back, but working with the new people out here, trying to teach them how to play.
There also has been a significant amount of backlash to the sport of pickleball. Pickleball can be noisier than tennis because the game can fit more players onto the same space as a tennis court, the hits during a pickleball rally are more frequent, the plastic balls are louder than tennis balls, and because it's a more social game with more talking. Some tennis players are also frustrated because pickleball is threatening to take over many tennis courts. There is even a petition in New York City to ban pickleball at a local playground with more than 3,000 signatures. However, there are many different possible solutions, and many hope that thoughtful decisions regarding the placement of pickleball courts will provide a resolution to these conflicts.
I think they could find areas where it could make, the neighbors happy, right? Instead of creating points of conflict. I also think it could be really good if we had dedicated pickleball courts. It might take some of the pressure off of tennis players, right?
I think if they were building more multi-purpose courts for both tennis and pickleball, that would be, an amazing addition to the community.
But whether people like it or not, this pickleball explosion shows no signs of slowing down, with pickleball participation having grown an average of 158.6% over the last 3 years, according to the SFIA. The presence of pickleball even has made it into our school community here at Roseville High School. This year, a pickleball club was started by teachers and students meeting to play in the gym every Wednesday.
We just started it this fall, and it was just a good way to have fun and get kids active and engaged. For the school itself, we're getting a lot of a mixing of upperclassmen and like sophomores and freshmen, juniors, guys and girls, multiple skill levels, athletes, people that maybe haven't played a varsity sport. We're getting a lot of different kids playing, so it's been great for the community.
I like the community and the people there. I feel like they really kind of bring up the energy, and I feel like something definitely to look forward to on Wednesdays at lunch. I think it's had a positive impact on my friends and I's lives because, we've made some new pals and chumps.
It is clear that pickleball will continue to shape the Seattle landscape. In the last few years, there have been many developments on the pickleball front. These include pilot striping project sites and a recent Seattle Park survey with more than 3,300 respondents, which will be used to help plan immediate improvements like dual striping on existing tennis courts, as well as development options for future dedicated pickleball courts. Many pickleball tournaments exist in the Pacific Northwest as well as across the country. The Metro Classic is Washington State's largest outdoor pickleball tournament and takes place every year. It is a favorite of local, regional, and traveling players. This year, the 2023 Humana Seattle Metro Classic will be taking place in July. Overall, pickleball is a sport that people of all ages and walks of life connect with and can get involved with at whatever level they want. It's evident that this sport will only continue to sweep the nation and may even take over the world.
Say hi to the camera.
Hey, he's the best.